Well, welcome to the Eccentric Man channel, and it's the start of trying to use airbrushes. Well, what have I got? I've got a few British World War II 8th Army to paint up and prime, and I've got a M18 Hellcat to prime. I've got my station set up with my gun, got some primer, cleaner, needle juice, thinner, and the compressor. The compressor is the MPN A081069 airbrush compressor kit from Fox Hunter. Got it on eBay, and it was fairly good price, £70 for the compressor and 2 airbrushes within it. So it wasn't too bad, I thought, for a first go and see how it works. Bought myself the kit bits there, and the little airbrush station there. So I've set it up to run at about just under 20 psi. I think that's what they call it. So I've got the AV, the Vallejo air primer, and this is Dunkel Gelb. So I'm going to fire up the gun, put some paint in it, and see what we do. Better move my mug of tea from inside, and we'll have a go with it. I don't have a camera at the moment that I can put on a tripod to show you the abysmal way I'm going to use it to start with, but I'll take a few photos of anything that goes particularly well or goes particularly bad. So back in a tick. Well, that was interesting. Did get it to work quite okay, just getting the pressure right. It was a little low first off, but once we got the pressure out and got the paint consistency okay, we gave it a spray. As you can see there, it's covered relatively smoothly. Those are shiny bits, not mist bits, so it's just giving it a chance to dry. There's the other side. So that's sort of a base coat primer. And again, on the turret. That was a bit out of focus. Let's get it focused in. A bit shiny, possibly a bit thick in some places, but it was the first one, and I thought, well, yeah, give it a go. Why don't you? A little bit missing from the barrel, so I might have to give that a touch up with a bit of a brush or a little bit of a spray in a bit. So yeah, we'll let that dry. A little bit running on the inside, perhaps it was a bit heavy there, but we'll see. Oh, there's a bit missing from the wheels. I could have taken that off with my fingers, so that's an interesting thing. So we'll have to give that a bit of a touch up. So first practice on that, not too bad. Interesting, and we'll give it a coat of darker green, I think, perhaps next, once I've touched up that wheel. So I've given the infantry a base coat with the Dunkel Gelb, and overall that's not bad, actually. Quite smooth. And shows the detail. So quite pleased with that. I think it's much quicker using the spray can, but I will persevere. That's only my second unit for a bit of airbrushing. Interesting though how it goes along. Having to clean the airbrush every now and again. I mean, it is the generic one that came with the pack, so I've got no idea how it relates to other airbrushes. So just finding my way with that one, and the cleaning of it as we're going along. Hopefully I'll get my spray booth through soon, and go the tank a little bit more, just to give it an extra coat over, and that's okay. As you can see, bits of the booth being sprayed. That's from the cleaning of the brush. So yeah, we'll move on to a second colour, which means I've actually got to do some mixing of colour, so that'll be interesting. See what it's like after that. Oops. So the colour I chose was Vallejo dark green, American dark green, and sprayed it over. Yeah, it's going onto the resin. I had cleaned the resin up beforehand, so that I hope the paint would stick to it. The paint's gone on. It was a matter of trying to get the consistency right with the pressure, to avoid runs, and spidering is what they call it, where the paint is blown out too much with the pressure of the airbrush. So I did get it right. Got the coats on. Try to go through and give it sort of some highlighting with the airbrush. I don't think that went particularly well, so at the moment it's just in this base green colour. I might well put on a wash, and I'll do some highlighting with the airbrush when I'm a little bit better with the smaller lines, and a bit more controlled with the use. But it's primed up and it's ready to go. So, a unit of the Desert Rats painted up with the Dunkelgelb air spray. Yeah, probably bit off a bit too much to chew for my first attempts today. Did result in me having to clean out the airbrush totally, taking it apart, cleaning the trigger, because what I realised is you don't shake the air gun when you've got paint in it. I think that was a problem. You just agitate it gently. I did shake it, and the paint, because it's quite liquidy, a milky consistency, shot out over the top into the gun, so I had to take it apart and clean it up. But I think I managed to put it all back together again. I tried it after that and it worked, so that was good. So a bit of learning, and that's painted them up. Interesting. I think it might speed up my painting when I get used to it. So a good start. So all I've got to do now is paint some figures with the brush. Thanks very much for watching. Hope it wasn't too boring and you learnt a little bit. But if you want to see some videos about airbrushing, there's plenty on the website. I'll see if I can pick up a few decent ones to have a look at, and put the links below. But that's it, so speak to you soon, and take care.